From as long as I could remember, I wanted to be rich. I actually thought saving a small portion of my salary each month would be enough. However, this was far from the truth. My wealth would have actually grown a lot faster if I'd focused my attention on the smaller day-to-day spending that I was doing. Think of it like this. My salary was the water flowing into my bucket. I tried to save a small portion every month. However, the leaks at the bottom were not helping me at all. And those leaks came in the form of the small regular purchases that I sometimes didn't even know I was doing. They had a high opportunity cost in my journey of building wealth. I actually started tracking my spend and looking at what I was spending. And I made a list that I could patch up myself and things that I wouldn't do. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. So let's jump into the first one. And this one is actually something that I've completely cut out. And that's my haircuts. When I did have hair, I went to the barbers and I was getting my hair and beard shaped up. And this was costing me £25, where if instead I just got my hair done, it would cost me about £12 to £15 instead. So what I ended up doing is I bought a pair of clippers from Amazon that were less than £20. This step actually ended up saving me over £100 a year because my bill at the barbers reduced pretty much about 33%. This is going to be a bold statement. If you are receding or thinning, I would highly recommend you actually go bald. Like, I really love it. Since I've cut my hair, I feel more confident, I feel more empowered, and I just love the look. It's great. And if you are at that stage, don't delay it. Get it over, get it done. You will be happy. And at the very least, you're going to save hundreds, if not thousands over the years. Moving on to the second thing I stopped doing, and that's focusing specifically on technology upgrades. I used to upgrade to the newest phone every year or every 2 years, and I've stopped doing that now. If your old one still works and meets your needs, then do you really need to upgrade your phone? Stop chasing those updates because it's going to save you a lot of money in the long term. Good thing as well is the delayed upgrade felt much better because the technology had advanced so much more since I last upgraded my phone. Delayed gratification for the win here. Number 3 is all about discounts. It could be a Prime Day, it could be a Boxing Day sale, it could be a Black Friday. I personally used to buy things just because they were on sales. I'd even go on Amazon and look on the lightning deals to see what I could purchase. A sale is only a good deal if you were going to buy that product anyway. Let me give you an example here, and this will tie into number 7 as well because it is about coffee. Last year, I bought an expensive coffee machine that was £500. And the key here is that I actually decided that I wanted to buy this product 3 months before the Black Friday deal. However, I put it on my list, saved myself £200 just from waiting for the Black Friday sale. And if you're like me, you like coffee, not to worry, I've linked the coffee machine in the descriptions below. Stick around for number 7 as well, where I'll show you how I actually paid off that machine just in 1 year, and it's been a great investment since. So my tip here is make a list before that sales window comes about and stick to that list. Don't buy anything outside it. Number 4 is about designer clothes and shoes. This is all about buying high quality and low quantity when it comes to clothes. Pay a little bit more for a piece of clothing that will last you longer. A good tip for you is to look at something that's called a capsule wardrobe. It's a really smart way to simplify your closet and pick high quality and low quantity items. One more important point here while we're talking about clothes is don't buy with your ego. It's one of the ways that keeps the middle class poor and the working class in debt. Number 5 is actually something that I've never done, and I also recommend that you never do this either. And this is buying a new car. And the reason for this is that as soon as you start to drive the car starts to lose value immediately. And actually, after 1 year, the average is around 25% of the value is wiped out. Fast forward this to 3 years, 60% of the car's value has been lost. This is one of the biggest wealth killers in any individual. You might think then that leasing is a better deal. However, it's not. With leasing, you're essentially paying for the depreciation and more. So it's even worse of a bad deal because at the end of it, you don't even own the car. However, if you do like those flashy cars, the best way to do it is to buy a used car after 3 to 4 years, as it's already lost 60% of the depreciated value, and the depreciation will start to slow from then on. You'll still lose money when you come to resell it, but you won't lose as much money as if you were to buy it brand new. And when you're buying a car, if you've actually got the cash and you don't need a loan, you may want to reconsider paying by cash because there is a cheaper hack and secret that I'm going to share with you. In my descriptions, I've linked this video below, and I show you how you can actually save £2,400 from a £10,000 car purchase. It's definitely worth a watch if you're in the market to buy a car. I'm moving over to number 6. This is about travel. I love traveling, and this is not about me saying don't travel, but it's traveling in a smart way. Can you avoid the peak seasons? Can you be a bit more flexible on the timings or the airports that you're flying from? And I'll give you an example here. For Father's Day a few years ago, I took my dad to Dublin. We had some great time sightseeing, we had some great food, a lot of Guinness at the Guinness factory, and some great vibes at the Temple Bar. And all of that was actually done all in 1 day. We flew back home around 10 p.m. and we were sleeping in our own beds by the end of the night. And why do I use this as an example? Well, because the price of the hotel would have actually cost more than what I ended up paying for my dad and myself for the whole day in Dublin. If you're like me and you love to travel, don't cut it out, because if it brings you joy, it's worth it, but just do it smarter. Moving on to number 7, I mentioned this in point number 3, but just to share the full story with you. Before having the nice coffee machine at home, my wife and I would probably grab a Starbucks about once a week. That little ritual of getting nice coffee weekly actually ended up costing us around £500 a year. Now, thanks to that coffee machine, even though we had to put up £500 all in one go, instead of once a week, we now enjoy a coffee every single day. So it pays us great dividends, great tasty coffee dividends, may I add. Moving over to number 8, and this spending habit actually cost me thousands over the course of a few years. This happened at the stage of my life when I just graduated from university and I was working for the first time and in a decent paycheck. At the time, what I loved doing was in the weekends, I'd go out with my friends, buy loads of rounds, buy loads of drinks. We'd party a lot, and don't get me wrong, it was fun at the moment, but when I woke up in the mornings, on top of my hangover headache, I'd get even more of a financial headache when I looked at my bank account. I remember one night I spent over £300 on a night out, and it wasn't even a special night out either. If I could go back in time, I wish I could tell myself, don't spend that much money on alcohol, because at the end of the day, you're just going to piss out anyway. You might as well use that money to secure your future self and increase your chances of growing wealth faster. I'm not saying don't have a good time, but I'm just saying don't be stupid like I was spending £300 in one night. If you're in your 20s and you find yourself in the same cycle as I was in, make sure to check out this payday routine video that I created, which talks about what you should be doing once you get your salary. For me personally, this is what broke my cycle. Moving over to number 9, and this is what I call cluster spending. On their own, they probably don't seem that big. However, together, they are a big drain of money in your leaky bucket. The first one is bottled water. And if you were like me and your parents shopped at Costco, you're probably very familiar with the crates of bottles that I'm talking about. Like my parents, and probably you if you can relate, are paying for the water bill for their house, plus they're paying for water bottles at Costco. The fix that I recommend is drink the tap water, and if you can't stomach the tap water, then get a filter. You can get a Brita filter, or you can actually install a filter under your tap. This will save you hundreds if not thousands over the years. Moving on to the next cluster spending is what I call fakeaways. I love food as much as I love to travel, and it's probably the reason I travel, because I love to experience the delicacies around the world. But takeaways and eating out used to take up a lot of my budget every month, and sometimes I'd even go over my budget. Now, again, in my 30s, hindsight, I do think I wish I didn't do this as much. But because I still love food in my 30s, if not more, instead of getting those takeaways, I make the fakeaways. If I crave a Five Guys, I'll make my own smash burgers at home. If I crave a Nando's, I'll make my own Nando's chicken at home. If I crave a Turkish, I'll make my nice lamb dish, which you can see in the short here. And doing fakeaways saves me and my family a lot of money, and I recommend you doing the same. And lastly, on the cluster spending is cloud storage. I used to pay about $8.99 per month for Apple iCloud storage. This was around 2 terabytes, and it cost me about £110 a year. I didn't use the full 2 terabytes, but I was still paying that cost every year. What I ended up doing was I actually bought a SSD drive, and now I upload my photos on there instead of having cloud storage. And the good thing about this is you pay for it once, it's not a monthly payment, and you don't pay it for many, many years. I've linked the one that I use in my description, and it's super fantastic for my phone and also for my laptop, and it works super well. Do you have any of the same habits that I used to? Which one would be the easiest for you to cut out? If there are any more good ones that I probably missed, put them in the comments below. It'll be great to share with other people that are interested. And if you're interested in personal finance and you like to learn about the tips, tricks and hacks that you could do to build your own wealth, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, because I will be posting more tips. Thanks for watching. See you next time.